Okay, so now we'll work on update profile, and updating the profile. We are just updating the name and mobile number. So we don't have any API for this yet. If we check our user API, we just have address and change password related APIs, right? Let's quickly create a API for this. So we'll simply go to our DTOs and we are going to create a simple DTO here. We can say public record or not record. We'll say public class, and let's say update profile DTO. We are going to have two properties here, name and mobile number. This mobile number is going to be in a label because this is what we have in our entity. Let's move it to a separate file where is update profile DTO, and let's quickly check the data annotation validation for this in our entity. We'll go to entity user. For name we have required and max length of 20. We are going to add this on our name, and for mobile we just have a max length 20. Save it. Now in our API we are going to create a service, or we already have user service. In user service only we are going to create a new method. So we'll say public async task of API result, and here we'll say update profile async. We are going to get update profile DTO as a parameter and user ID. Okay, here let's get the user information. So we'll say user equals await underscore context dot users dot find async user ID. Now we can check user for null. This is going to be a rare case, but still we can have. So return API result dot fail. So user no longer exists, something like this. Then if we have this, so we'll say user dot name equals DTO dot name and user dot, what was that, mobile equals DTO dot mobile, and then we'll say simply await context dot save changes async and simply return API result dot success. Save it. Let's use this in our endpoints. So we'll go to our endpoints, user endpoints. Here we have API slash user. We have this user group. On this user group only we are going to define one endpoint, user group dot map post. We can use map patch as well if you want to. Let's try map patch only. So here we'll say update profile. Okay, then async parameter we are going to get update profile DTO from the client, from the mobile application. Then we are going to inject user service here, and then happened user service, and then we are going to inject claims principal to get the user ID. Okay, then we can simply return results dot OK await service dot update profile async DTO principal dot get user ID. Then we can tell what type of response it gives. It produces API result, and we can add a name to this. So we'll say with name update profile, update profile. Save it and we are good. This is a patch request. So now we'll go to UI side Refit API interface in our mobile MAUI application. We'll go to APIs, iUser API. Here we are going to define this method without this user ID. Here we'll define patch, and inside patch we need to provide our entire URL. So API slash user slash What is that? Update profile. With this, our API is side done. Now we can directly use this. Okay. So let's go to our profile page. Let's close all tabs. Go to our profile page. So components, pages, profile page, and whatever we are doing for change password, the similar thing we'll do with for our update profile. So we have a separate component for the change password form. We can do the same thing for our update profile as well. In shared, I'm going to create a new razor component. Update update profile form, and let's copy change password form entirely. We are going to modify this as per our need. And again, I don't know why it happens always. Okay, it picked up. Not entirely, yeah. So we have app state, we have user ID, we have edit form. Now inside this edit form, we will not have change password DTO. Instead, we'll have update profile DTO. And we will change this method's name to update profile. Happened. Update profile async, and nothing is happening. So update profile async like this. Let's copy this, paste it here, and on valid submit we'll add it here. This is complaining because we changed this model and all these properties are not on this model update profile DTO. So in this thing we are just going to have two text boxes. We will remove type text, and for this model.value we are going to have name, and then here we are going to have mobile, and mobile, we can say mobile number. Here we can say name, and then in placeholder we can say enter name and enter what is that, enter mobile number. Save it, save changes, we are good. Update profile, and here we'll say profile updated successfully. Save. Okay, we are good. Let's go to profile page, and the way we are having this show change password sheet, we are going to duplicate this, and here we'll say change update profile sheet, sorry, show update profile sheet. Save it. Then let's duplicate this if condition, paste this, so show update profile sheet. In that case we'll have this thing, the title is going to be update profile, and the type we are going to handle is this one. And when it should get open, when we click on this first edit profile, so this li, here we'll say at the rate on click equals just this equals true, and this should be a lambda. All right, so now it should work, it should open. Now there is a difference in change password and this should be update profile. So in update profile we already have our name and mobile number, right? So we need to pre-fill our name and mobile number. Do we have that information in our app state, sorry, auth state? We go to auth state, we have logged in user. In logged in user we have our name and email. So we have two options here. One is we can add mobile number also as a part of this logged in user information. Or second thing, when we are opening this update profile form, in this user API, we can introduce one more endpoint which will give the user's current information. So it will return us name, email, mobile, and everything. And we can simply pre-fill these values from there. So this is also an option. Okay. Now it's up to you how you are doing this. For me, let's do this. Let's add this in this logged in user only. It will be easier. We'll just add string mobile here, and we are creating it in our API for the first time. So we'll go to our API, services, auth service, and here when we are creating the token in login async method, here we will add mobile number before JWT. So we'll say user.mobile and then JWT. It is going to be nullable. Okay. Now we have this. So we'll go to our update profile form. Here we can simply inject our auth state. Then update profile async. We have this model. So here we can say override on initialized. In on initialized, we'll say underscore model dot name equals uh, auth state dot user dot name, and model dot mobile will have auth state dot user dot mobile, and here we will know this will not be null. Cool. So the default previous values will be filled from the app state, auth state, and then we'll modify it. But when we modify these things, the JWT token should also be changed, right? It will be changed because we are having claims in that. We need to change those as well. What we can do from our API, in our API, when we are modifying this information update profile, here only we should regenerate the JWT token and send it to the client. And on client, it can simply update this JWT token. Okay, so we'll do this thing here. How we generate the JWT? That is in our auth service. So we have the generate token. What we can do now, let's move this to a separate class because we are using it at two different places. In services, we are going to add new class. Let's say token service. Okay. And here we can simply paste that method. We'll make it public. We need configuration injected here. So we'll inject it. I configuration. And we are going to have a private read only field with underscore prefixed. Okay, and here we are good. We are just returning this. We'll get this token service. We'll register this token service in our program.cs dot add transient token service. And then we'll go to our auth service. Here we will remove this generate token method and we will inject. We don't need I configuration now, right? So we can get rid of I configuration registration. We will just inject our token service. Okay, and then on this token service, we are going to call this generate JWT method here. So we'll say token service dot generate token. Cool. Now this thing, actually, these two lines, we are going to have in our user service as well when we are done with the update changes. Here, we'll have these two things. We need to inject our token service here. Let's say token service, private read only field, token service. Then we have token service generate token. we have logged in user. So from this API result, let's return this logged in user. On this API result, we'll say it returns API result of logged in user. In fail, we'll do this. In success, we'll do this by passing logged in user. Let's wrap this thing in a try catch block to handle the exceptions. Catch ex. Here we should log and handle the errors accordingly, but for this, I'm just sending this ex dot message. Now we just need to change this type in our documentation, API documentation. That means in our endpoints produces, this should be API result of logged in user, and same thing should be done in our .NET MAUI Refit interface. So I user API here, it should be API result of logged in user. Save it, and we are good now. Now if we go to our update profile form, here this is going to return us API result of logged in user. So after doing everything, profile updated successfully, before calling this on saved, what we can do here, we'll say var logged in user equals, we have our auth state, right? Sorry, we have our API result dot data. This will be logged in user. Then we have our auth state. On auth state, we have login method. So we need to provide this new logged in user information to this login method. Now in login, what would happen? It is going to update the user with the latest values, and it is going to update the token as well in the database, in preferences, not database. So with this, now we have updated information. Now if we come back to this update profile page, it should show the updated values. So save everything, and it looks like we are good. Let's quickly rerun the API because we have made changes in API. Let's rerun API, and then we'll run the MAUI mobile app. Alright, API is running now. Let's again select the mobile app and let's run it. So we'll see the update profile section in action. So app is here. Let's go to profile and edit profile, and nothing is happening. Change password, also nothing is happening. Oh, it is frozen. What happened? I reopened it and change password once worked, then edit profile. I tapped on edit profile and it is again stuck. So something is not right. Let's try to put breakpoints. Let's check our profile page. Here, what we are doing, we are saying show update profile sheet true. Show update profile sheet, bottom sheet up to profile form. Oh, this is, what is this? Title, on time update profile. What is this? Something is not right. When we click on it, something breaks and it is not giving us any exception or something like that. Maybe it gives in output window. It says this thing. Where is it? I saw somewhere. Info console object of type on bottom sheet does not have a property matching the name profile. So this thing. Alright. So it should be profile, or let's say update profile. Okay, save it, restart. App is here. Now let's try this time. Edit profile, and we can see this, and this name is pre-populated. So we are good. Let's try to update the name. We'll say temp user. Let's add some mobile number 12345678990. Save changes. We can see the activity indicator. Profile updated successfully, and we can see the temp user. This name got updated. If I go back to home page, come back to profile, we can see the temp user. That means this is updated in our auth state. So with this, our edit profile is done. And now we can see the values are populated correctly. Our change password is done. Logout we already worked on. Now we need to work on this manage addresses. This will work next.